Hello and welcome to The Culture Show. I'm Eve Jackson in Paris. Coming up, Marilyn Monroe. 50 years since the icon's death, we look at rarely seen photos showing her transformation from Norma Jean to a Hollywood sex symbol. And singing anthems for the continent's debt crisis, the Swedish veterans Europe are here to talk about their new album, Bag of Bones. Hello, thanks for joining us. Norma Jean Mortensen died 50 years ago of an overdose, aged 36. In just over 15 years, the woman we know as Marilyn Monroe had established herself as an actress, singer, and above all, a sex symbol. The ultimate blonde bombshell endures as the great female icon of the 20th century. As well as the film My Week with Marilyn, she's the face of this year's Cannes Film Festival. And now a new book shows her transformation from Norma Jean into Marilyn Monroe as captured by the photographer Bruno Bernard. Marilyn Intimate Exposures has been published by his daughter, Susan Bernard, who joins us here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
Now, this photograph here that we can see on the back of your book, this is when your father actually discovered Marilyn Monroe, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. That is when she was Norma Jean. And he was coming out of his dentist's office one day, and she was walking past him down Sunset Boulevard, and she was in these tight white shorts, and he had his hand over his cheek because it was really hurting, but he still sort of ran after her, and he said, "This is purely professional, miss, but I'd love to take some photo shots of you. I think you'd be a wonderful model." And the next day, actually it was 6 a.m. in the morning apparently, her old jalopy, screeched to a halt in front of his Bernard of Hollywood studio on Sunset Boulevard. And the rest is sort of history because those particular photos, which was her first professional sitting in a studio, my dad gave to Ben Lyons at 20th Century Fox, and that got her her first motion picture contract.
What was it that your dad saw, your father saw, that was so different about Marilyn Monroe, about Norma Jean?
Well, when he first discovered her, literally on Sunset Boulevard, he knew there was something special. There was an aura. But he said to her when she asked him, "Mr. Bernard, do you really think I could be a model?" He said to her, "Well, my camera never lies." So when they saw the photos, he said it was spectacular. She could literally pose, and she had more energy than any other model he had ever photographed. She was relentless, and she literally had a love affair with the camera.
Okay, I'm going to bring in the guys here, John and Joey from Europe, and welcome to the show. Now, why do you think Marilyn Monroe was so special from a man's point of view?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us here. Yeah, we're getting a little lesson here about Marilyn Monroe and Norma Jean. Yeah, well, beautiful woman. I remember being introduced through that album, Elton John album, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, because my sister brought that album home to me. And I was listening to these songs, and it was this Candle in the Wind, and I loved it. So I wanted to know who is that girl, and so I looked up pictures and everything. So that was great for me. But Some Like It Hot, that movie, and some great stuff.
But she wasn't just beautiful; she was a very talented actress.
She was extraordinarily talented. Billy Wilder said she had the best comic timing than any other actress he had ever worked with. She was really amazing because think of it. Here she is, Norma Jean, and she's able to transform herself into the sex goddess with which men and women adored. And I think they both adored her because there was this innocence and there was this insecurity, but yet it was just a vulnerability that everybody identified a certain part of themselves they saw in her. And I think that was part of the strength, especially as an actress, But, she wasn't that ditzy kind of blonde love goddess, no. How could anybody really be that? She had a great technique to be able to give her public what they really wanted, and she created this character. She literally did. She would say, "It takes me 5 hours to become Marilyn Monroe."
Wow, it's incredible. Well, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about your beautiful book with some absolutely extraordinary pictures inside.
Thank you so much.
Just a reminder for you guys at home, Marilyn Intimate Exposures is available now.